Hello, hello. Oh, I don't think my volume's even up or anything. Hey, hey. Hello, hello. Welcome to Friday Nights Chatting with C or Chats with C. I mean, I guess it changes or evolves, it grows. I don't know. We just here every week, right? I try to be every week. I'm here, I'm here. Oh, hey! Welcome, welcome. Welcome back, Sincerely Key. Yes, thank you for joining. Hey, hey, y'all. Say hey when you come in. I'll make sure I can get all of my messages as they're coming in. Okay. Hey, y'all. Hey. Can you hear me? I hope you can hear me. Okay. Hey. I'm playing around with stuff because I just feel like I look so bright. Like, super, super bright. Like, almost not like a black lady. Like, hello, I am a black. Okay. I hope everyone had a great holiday. I know last weekend was Thanksgiving, and I took off last Friday just because I was like, oh my gosh, it's a holiday. Like, people's not trying to hear me talk on no Friday. They're not trying to do that. They're trying to spend time with their family. So I didn't do last week. And of course, I'm black. I also didn't post it in enough time either to say I wasn't doing it, but I appreciate y'all coming back this week. I hope you had a good week. I've had a pretty decent week. Yeah, I wouldn't say it was terrible. Just sometimes you just feel just like, what's going on, and you have to push and fight through it. That's the kind of week I kind of had. It happens. Life has its ebb and flow, right? Like it goes up, it comes down, it's good, it's great and awesome. And then all of a sudden it's like, what's going on? Like, I guess that's just really life. And we learn to navigate through all of those wavelengths as it's happening. So, and try not to focus too much on it and know that it's just a moment, it's just a time, and it too shall pass. So that's just kind of the week I've been having, to say the least. So I hope you guys have been having a pretty good week. Have you guys been having a good week? Did you have a good holiday, Thanksgiving, spend time with family, friends? I did. I actually cooked this year, which I never do. However, I cooked the things that I would typically eat if I went to somebody else's house. So it was a very small Thanksgiving meal for me that I cooked, and it was good. So I didn't do anything fancy. Oh my gosh, that tea is so hot. My week was tiring, happy to be off tonight. I know that's right. I am happy it is Friday too. I cannot wait to get out of work. Like, no, there will be no more anything. I was like done when it got around 3 o'clock. Yeah, it was a crazy week. I think any week after like a holiday or after like, 3 or 4 days off tends to be like so much stuff going on. Everybody acts like all of life fell apart in those 2 days. Like, ooh, y'all wasn't off too? And if you wasn't off, the rest of us was. Chill out. You knew that was coming. You ain't got to do all that. That's how I be feeling. Like, y'all be doing too much. Better prepare for folks to be off. This is crazy talk. But of course, when people are off and unavailable, that's when everybody needs something. That's just an emergency. And yeah, preparing for next week. I am not preparing for next week already. It's Friday. I am not thinking about next week. I mean, I understand how people do because our brains are like wired to always be thinking about the next thing, but we also have to learn to release some of that, live in the moment, reflect on things before we move on to the future and focus so much on stuff ahead of time. Like, we have to be able to do that. So, no, I am not thinking about next week quite yet. I mean, of course, there's some stuff I'm like, oh my gosh, but I am intentionally not about to worry about that on the weekend or during my downtime or off time because we have to train our minds to be able to discharge, relax from the future all the time. Like, we can't always be thinking about that. I don't celebrate any pagan holidays, so everything was normal for me. Okay, still had to work. I'm a mental health technician. Oh, nice. Okay, well, yeah, that's a industry in a field that doesn't get no sleep, no days off, so that makes sense for sure. Um, so everything was pretty normal. Yeah, I could see that pretty normal, just another day and the office and stuff. Even still, I think as long as you're taking time for yourself and to discharge, to really, put family and friends as a priority, even if it's not during, our governmental holidays. I always tell people y'all's government. I say that all the time and people laugh, but y'all's government and these holidays and stuff that they give us. I use them, but then I also use my own days because I'm not about to be limited to 12 days a year or 7 holidays a year, only federal bank holidays a year. I'm not about to be limited to that. I'm not about to be limited to sick days a year. I'm not about to be limited to only 2 weeks of paid time off a year. I'm not about to be limited to none of that. So I just do what I do. And if it tends to erupt y'all's shaking of how y'all do stuff, then I move right along because I'm not about to be. Now the bills got to get paid and stuff, so I works, but y'all not about to be having me have to ask for permission to go somewhere and take a trip and go visit family and spend time with folk and feel bad about feeling being sick or needing a break. Today's a mental day. I'm not about to feel bad about none of that. So I totally get what you mean. Like, it's just a normal day and not celebrating it. But as long as you're taking the time when you need it and you feel it to still take time for yourselves and for us to not continue to be feeling like we are so tied down to these jobs, like we owe them everything because they pay the bills. Oh my gosh. Ooh, it's such a headache. It's so difficult because you are trying to maintain a lifestyle and you're trying to keep a roof over your head, food on the table, like all of the basics of life, which it still drives me crazy. Some of the stuff we have to pay for, like water. Like, why am I paying for water? It's part of the planet. It's part of what the species need. Like, why do we gotta pay for water? That just drives me nuts. But anywho, we're always trying to take care of ourselves in that space, and that makes sense. But then we're also, what are we jeopardizing? What are we sacrificing? What are we trading out for that? And so I think it is so important. And as you can see, the world is switching and changing to such a new dynamic of people are starting to realize that, we really want our time. We want to still have those things that matter. So these companies are not just going to outright tell you to do it, even when they give you unlimited PTO. They don't expect us to use it. It's crazy. Like, don't play with me. Mess up said nothing. But you have to do it for yourself and really take the time yourself. These managers, these companies, they're not going to tell you, hey, it looks like you need a break. Hey, you've been working for, 6 months straight without a day off. Why don't you use your PTO? Really take some time off. Like, no, they're not. The only time they get ready to do that is at the end of the year when they realize they got to pay it out or let it roll over, something like that. Then they start telling you, but then they know they're telling you at the end of the year when they know it's holiday time and really can't nobody really afford to really take off because it's a busy time for us. And so then you feel really bad about taking it off. So then people don't. You better take your time. You better take your time. I'm definitely a person who takes time, whether I have the time or not. I think it's important. So, um, definitely get that. So true. And y'all's government. Exactly. That I say it all the time. Y'all look, the government that we have set in place would be half as decent if they actually worked for the people. Vice versa, we work for the government. So I don't think that's how that really is supposed to work. Um, but we're living in a time where people are starting to realize that and people are wanting to move forward. They're wanting to see changes. And I think that's going to be one of the biggest things is us getting people in office who actually work for us, who actually are for the people, who actually make things happen for the people, the communities that they are over, that they're serving. So when I say, yeah, y'all's government, I say it in the sense that, like, yeah, the government is not for the people, you know, at all whatsoever. Um, so if we could finally get that, we may get somewhere. Then I'm like, my government, like woo woo, but I don't really know what the government does. Half the time they help, the other half I just don't be knowing. Um, but regardless of what's happening with the governments and with what's going on in the world, we still have the ability to create our futures. We still have the ability to make a difference in our own lives on such a big scale with, how we operate, how we think, how we move, not being conformed to certain things, standing up against other things. We still have that ability, even though we're underneath um, this government, and under certain laws and things like that. There were some good ones put in place that will allow us to, if we just tap into our own thing. So I do keep up on what's going on in the world and different things and things like that, but I also keep a lot of focus on what I'm trying to do because what you're trying to do is going to outweigh everything else that's going on, for sure. I think I've seen somebody comment, hey from hey from the big A. Are we still live? Last time I thought it was, but it ended it being in the video. Hey, welcome, Miss Emily's. Hello, welcome. We are live this Good Friday. We did not go live last Friday because of the holiday, and I just didn't actually get around to putting it up. But we are here this week. We are just catching up with the week. Hope you had a great holiday and a good week. Yeah, I hope you did. Let's see. So yeah, that's pretty much all that's going on with me. Oh my gosh, this tea is so hot. And I am somebody who I like a hot drink, but I don't like it so hot that you can't drink it. That you have to wait like 20, 40 minutes to drink some coffee or something. Drives me crazy. So I always put like ice in it. However, I knew you would. However, I always put ice in it, but it still be like so hot. I already started putting time in for next year. Oh, time off from work? Good. Hell yeah. What? I had a job one time that like I was trying to do my time off, and they were like, "Oh, you can only go up until, like a month from now." I got the whole year mapped out. I'm ready. Like, no, you're gonna put these dates in. Then of course, when you get closer to the dates, now three and four people got the dates and stuff. They talking about, oh, we gotta see who gonna get it. Like, that's why I was trying to do it at the end of last year, prepare for this year. Like, oh, they be making me mad. And again, I don't care because if it's my dates, it's my dates. So, but that's good. Planning for next year. And I think traveling is really important, getting out and just taking a break from our everyday lives, our everyday thing that we do all the time is so important. And I know the economy is bad and cost of living has gone up tremendously. These jobs are not matching. And so a lot of people don't have the funds to travel, but still taking the time off and finding something to do in your area, in a neighboring state, a neighboring city, I think is huge anyway, period, to find a way to travel. I live in Texas now, and it's so big. There's so much to do in Texas. Like, I don't quite yet have to need to leave the country. I mean, obviously I want to, and you want to go out and explore. I'm not saying that. But, if you don't have the funds or the means to go and do those kind of trips, there's still so much to do, like in Texas, like Austin, San Antonio, Dallas, Arlington, Corpus Christi, you got Galveston, you got Kemah, which there's not much to do at Kemah, but I guess if you it was I couldn't really tell what you do in Kemah besides the boardwalk. I'm gonna be honest. But I guess if you got on a boat and I don't know. Anyway, the point is there's stuff to do. And a lot of times there's events going on that we can partake in. There are seasonal events that happen in our states, in our cities, that you can partake in and plan on doing. I think getting out of the norm is so important, and just exploring something new is really key to keep yourself alive and not so bogged down and sucked down by bills and the negative news and the things we don't have and our jobs and the people we work with, is taking the time to really unwind and to really do stuff. Yeah, yes, chemo was so, oh my gosh. I don't know what I thought was gonna happen when I went to chemo. I'm like, oh, it's gonna be, it wasn't. I mean, it was cool. It was a good time. The boardwalk was really cool. I enjoy like little carnival rides and um just the you couldn't actually get to the water. It wasn't like a beach. It was kind of weird. It's like, so it was different, but I enjoyed it. But that's not like somewhere where I'm like, yeah, I came for the weekend. Like, no, no. Mm-mm. Kima for a couple of hours. Yeah, yeah. A day trip. That's a day trip. So they increased our PTO starting next year. I was on it. Absolutely. Yes. Pick some dates. Even if you don't have nowhere to go yet, just tell them you're taking off in January. I don't know. I'll put some date. I'll be putting random dates in. I do. I don't have no plans. I don't know nothing to do, but I'll put them dates in. And a month before, I'll start looking like, oh, I got them dates off. What I'm gonna do. Sometimes it be like that, right? Like sometimes it be like that. And these companies like to make us think that, we get this, oh, if you're not here or if you don't come, then, oh, then what? Then what? What's going to happen? The manager going to have to stay and do some extra work. That's part of this salaried pay y'all get, that big check y'all cutting, is to be able to step in when you need to help the team, which helps the company to expand and to grow. It's much more than just delegating tasks out to folk and checking what time somebody came in and came out. That's my 5 cents on that. Don't get me started about the workplace. And I get it. Everybody's not going to be an entrepreneur. And I don't, if it's in you, it's in you, like, however, regardless if you work for yourself or you work for anybody else, you're still a person. You still have to be able to find that balance. Can y'all believe it's already about to be 2023? I woke up yesterday like it is December 1st. I seen a post and it cracked me up so hard. Somebody posted, um, what did they post? They posted, paid my rent for the rest of the year making boss moves. I laughed so hard at that because like, dude, it's December. Like, okay, boss moves. But I was like, yeah, well, me too. I made a boss move too. Yeah, facts. Rent is paid for the rest of the month. I'm about to ball out. But it's funny because we are literally at the end of 2022. It has gone by so fast. For sure. I was just looking at my vision board and like, wow, did I accomplish some of this? Last year I really knocked out a gang of stuff. This year I did too though. And next year I'm already in next year mode for sure. Um, I am already thinking about how I want to go. 2022, the motto that I started the year with on my channel and my, I guess, hashtag or whatever was Year of You. So it was the year of me to really focus in on me and to start healing and dealing with traumas and really learning to be more consistent and showing up as my most authentic self and really who am I and what am I good at and doing a lot of reading and just that was this year for me and paying attention to the lessons that were coming. Am I repeating the same lessons? That's what this year really was. Kind of stepping out a little bit, but not too much. And I think it went really well for sure. I think I did a lot of that. But 2023, yeah, we kicking doors down. Yeah, we're kicking doors all the way down 2023. We definitely going Zen. Okay. 2023's motto is we're always going to be growing and evolving. We're always going to be working on ourselves. We're always going to be trying to get to the next level. But what we're not going to do is get stuck on all of the, well, I got to do this. No. 2023, we coming for it. You hear me? 2023, we are coming for it all. And the motto for 2023 is we are jumping out there. We are going for it. We are getting it done. Whatever that looks and feels like for you, for me, that's what we're doing in 2023. And we are, and I don't want to say, I don't like the term like making excuses because it's not about making excuses. We just create a lot of like self-doubt and a lot of worry and we overthink it. We talk ourselves out of stuff. We're not doing that in 2023. We're really going to get out here and really smash these goals and really apply. We've gone through a lot in 2022. We have taken some risks. We've learned some lessons. We've gone backwards. We've gone forwards. We have done the work. We're continuing to do the work. There's always going to be work to do. But this year we're going to apply application. We're going to apply the wisdom. We're going to take the lessons and use them. We're going to use our resources. We're going to be okay with using our resources and reaching outside of our resources if we need to make things happen. We are just going to go for it in 2023. That's my thing. Now, I understand that some people are going to be coming up and they're going to be on the Year of You in 2023. And that's totally fine too, right? I personally did the year of you this year, and I'm moving on to another level. Some people are going to jump in wherever they jump in. Some people are already going to be like, girl, I've been to jumped out here and I've been doing it. That's great. Go off, sis. Not quite where I'm at, and that's okay. But there are going to be a lot of people who are where I am at, who are ready to go. And I can see that because of the conversations that I'm having with people. And I'm noticing that a lot of women that I'm talking to are like, okay, next year I'm jumping. I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. I'm just like gonna put myself out there. I'm ready to, and I think it's great. I think that the stagnation piece, the procrastination, the doubt, the worries, the fears, I'm not prepared. Well, I gotta do this first, I gotta do that. I think we're breaking through a lot of that. And I think 2022 really showed a lot of us that and pushing through it a bit and taking what we're learning and being able to actually apply it to actually get us where we want to go. And so that's what I plan to do 2023. So thank you, Miss Morgan, for talking about, oh my God, I can't believe the year is almost over. I cannot, but I would say it has been quite a positive year for sure. It's had its ups and downs. I think probably like most of you, like most of all of us, we've seen all kinds of stuff in the news and the media this year. Um, I think I have officially crossed into that age where, the social media is full of RIPs just repeatedly. Um, and it just seems like it keeps getting sadder and sadder. And we seem to think we have so much time or so much opportunity, or I can wait that, I can wait for that. Well, that'll come. And some of it, yeah, but some of it we have to be moving. We have to be going for it. We just have to. Our kids depend on it. Our families depend on it. The future generations are going to depend on what we do during our lifetime and right now. And so going for it, like going for it, is the best thing to do. And I think 2023 is a year of really going for it. We have watched so many people get rich and famous off of TikToks and Instagrams and social media and all kinds of just different things and business ideas and ventures that some of us have still been sitting back kind of like, well, I'm not sure and I'm not. And this is the time to go for it. And so that's what I'm using 2023 for. I hope that you will join me on the go for it. Just go for it. Nike's just do it, but we going for it, okay? Because I'm gonna go hard. I'm gonna go in. We going in. We going in. That was actually on my playlist this morning, and let me tell you, I went in. I love that song. That is one song that'll hype me up, and Lifestyle is my second. Between the two of them, yeah. I'm going in and I've done a lot of shit to live this here lifestyle. Okay. We's gonna get it in 2023. And I seen your question, Miss Morgan. What's my word of the year? I don't know. I'm still actually figuring out what the word is going to be. Last year or this year's word, 2022, my word of the year was consistency. I wanted to know what it would be like to be consistent in particular areas, irregardless of what was happening, what was going on, just stay consistent. And I think it went really well for the most part. Obviously, I fell off in some areas like the videos and um, just some of the things that I had been working on. I was not as consistent as I would have liked to have been, but consistency was a big piece. And I think I did better than I've done before. And then with that, I came into the word authentic for the year, and I'm gonna go hard, and I'm gonna go hard, and I'm gonna go. Yes, that part. That's my part. Love that song. Okay, so look here, Gemini, and if I'm about to play with you and your Gemini counterparts. So, with being consistent, I really learned about being authentic and showing up as my most authentic self on a consistent basis this year. And that changed, I think, everything for me personally, and how I have been in the year and the growth that I've had. So, I've been very excited about the growth and the change. I will say, though, for sure, I don't know what next year's word is going to be. I feel a little bit like discipline is coming. A little bit more disciplined, maybe the word disciplined, for 2023. But I'm not sure yet. I haven't quite figured it out. I will know it by the end of the month, that's for sure. What the word will be, why I think having that word and focusing on it will be important to me and where I'm going in life. Um, the areas where I feel like in that space I'm not as whatever the word's going to be. Um, and some examples of people that I feel like who really exude whatever the word is um, as well. I think when you're picking your word of the year, all of those things are important things to help keep you motivated and keep you inspired. So I will be working on that. I still am. The word of the year. I'm glad you asked. Do you know what your word of the year is? Have you figured out yours? Has anybody figured out their word of the year yet? Or did you have a word this year that you were working on or changed up or anything like that? And yes, the vision boards are coming for this 2023. No word of the year yet. Okay. And do I think Kanye is going to unlock another level of crazy? Um, I think Kanye is going to Kanye. Because if Kanye doesn't Kanye, then who would he be? Kanye, to me, is showing up as his most authentic self in all spaces. Do I think everything he's saying is right and correct? And no. Some stuff he says, yes. I think he's very smart and very, I just think a lot of it, his brain moves so fast that what he's trying to say doesn't come out in a level that a lot of people can really understand or really are trying to get. I think he talks in a lot of code, and so it makes it sound gibberish, and it's like, what did he just say? Oh, hell no. I also think that there's a bit of Geminis just have a different kind of energy and thought process that they have. And Kanye's one. It's very free and thoughtful and all of those things. And to me personally, I don't think you have to agree with Kanye. I don't, just like you don't have to agree with what anybody says, to be honest. If it fits, it fits. If it doesn't, it doesn't. You don't have to like it. If it's his belief system, it's his belief. I really don't give a shit what his belief is. Like, if you don't believe it, you don't believe it. So I do think there's a lot of flack there and a lot of people just so enraged by what he says. But to me, I feel like if it doesn't fit, if it doesn't align with you, if it's not how you see the world or see things, then it's a situation where you're just like, oh, okay. And then you just get rid of it and push it out. Like, it really shouldn't affect you. It doesn't affect it in that space. Now he is running to be the next president. Now that will affect you in that space. So certain things he says and does will affect us, but Kanye is gonna Kanye. He's gonna say what he feels and wants to say, and in his mind, he's doing it and it makes sense and it aligns and it's purposeful and it's a truth to him, and he's following that, as we all do with stuff that we're doing and the thoughts that we have. We all figured, I align with this makes sense to me, I'm gonna do it. And to 80,000 people are gonna be like, what the hell? But if it feels right to you and it makes sense to you, that's really all that matters. I don't think that Kanye is harmful. I don't think he's inciting violence of any sort, to me. However, it's bigger than me. There are groups of people who need a spokesperson to come out and say what their group thinks and feels to make them feel okay to act in a particular way. And so they feel like Kanye's doing that. Um, However, I just don't know that that black man's that powerful. I think they were going to move how they wanted to move anyway. The groups that they are saying he is inciting violence with by his words and outbursts and thoughts. I think they don't need black rapper ex-billionaire Kanye West to make them feel it's okay to move how they want to move or to attack if they want to attack. I don't think they needed that personally. But so 2023 will be interesting. There's a lot of shifts and dynamics that are happening, that have been happening. There are a lot of things becoming really exposed and clear. I think a month or so ago, I made a video about just observing what's going on right now and not really doing too much, but just observing. That's going to be big in 2023. Again, it's just paying attention and being mindful, using discernment in what's going on and how you're moving for your own stuff, because the stuff around you is still happening, but really going into what you're doing without so much. There's going to be a lot of activist work going on, a lot of community advocacy action going on. There's going to be more people wanting to get involved on a more humanistic level. I think in 2023, more people are going to be finding their purpose in 2023 and following it. I think we're going to see more issues as far as like children and like foster care and the actual state of the mental mind and things like that. Like we've already seen, that's already been pushing, but I think it's going to get a little bit deeper in 2023, especially as people are working on themselves and as people are figuring out where they fit in into this whole thing. I think for a big part, which is why I feel like going for it is a good theme for 2023, because there's just going to be so many things unlocking and people are going to really start to focus on what's really real and genuine, as opposed to what the image is or the story is that the media and other people are portraying and making or wanting us to believe is what's important or valuable. I think more people are going to start coming back down to, this is where I'm at, this is what's really where it's at, and really going for it, whatever that looks like. So I'm excited to see it. I wouldn't say anxious, I'm excited, although I know that with that there comes people who don't want to see the world change. There's going to come people in your life who don't want to see you change and grow. They're going to be used to you being at this level, and you're going to be working and fighting really hard to get to the next levels next year, and they're going to feel uncomfortable. They're not going to like it. And so there's going to be a lot of strife, which you've already seen. It's going to intensify, but I do believe that the people who genuinely are going for it and genuinely trusting in themselves, the universe, who are really tapping into God, who are really tapping into their gifts and their talents, are going to really be rising up, and the energy levels that all of us are going to bring is going to really help make a big shift for sure. I think people are going to start holding people more accountable in 2023. I think more people are going to start separating themselves from people, opportunities, jobs, relationships that do not align with them anymore. And I think it's going to get easier to do that because people are doing the internal work. They're finding their value. They're finding their worth. They are wanting more. They want to do more on a grander scale level. And I think that's going to change the whole dynamics of the world. And I think it's going to change a lot of communities. It's going to change a lot of lives for the better. I think a lot of us have gone through quite a bit this year. We've seen a bit. It's been a very heavy year. There's been lots of heavy energy and deaths and just uncertainty and a lot of uprisings and things going on that I think we are starting to really tap into, okay, what does this mean for me? And what am I supposed to do? And let me get to it. And so I think 2023 is that year for sure. Yeah. Let me see. I've seen some comments. Still trying to figure out my word of the year. That is true. Kanye is going to Kanye. Absolutely. Like, Kim is going to Kim. like you got to expect people to do what people do. It makes me more worried when people do something other than who they are. Like now I'm like, okay, what's really going on? Like where you at? Who you trying to be? Who you trying to can you just go back to being you? I'm more worried when people do that. I feel more comfortable and okay because I at least know what I'm getting. I know that I can figure out how I need to move when you're being you. When you start being somebody different, you start doing different stuff and moving different. I'm like, what's going on? What's happening? Who you been hanging with? Who you been talking to? Why are you moving like that? That makes me nervous. So yeah, Kanye can Kanye. He can Kanye. Working on my word of the year. Okay, okay. Well, there's still time. There is still time. And hi, Tay. Welcome. Thank you for joining us, girl. Hey, hey, hey. Okay, these little cups are so cute. My Chatting with C cup is actually downstairs. I have to actually wash it out from work. I take it with me to work and stuff. But these little cups, these little tumbler things are so awesome because, like, you want your drink to stay warm or cold or whatever. But, like, at a certain point, I need it to cool down now. I didn't throw in half the bag of ice. And it's still hot, like piping hot. It's crazy. It's crazy wild. Crazy, crazy. So actually, this was a good conversation tonight because it's not quite the topic I thought I wanted to talk about, but that's the universe telling me that was not the topic for tonight. To sit on that one, to wait a little bit. So I'm going to do just that. But instead, I had been working on 2023 and the word of the year and all of that. So the universe said that's what I was supposed to talk about tonight. So that's what we got. That's what we just did. We going to do. What was the original topic? The original topic. Oh my gosh. I was going to talk about dating and relationships. Oh my gosh. But I do need like a full hour for that because I have 2,072 million thoughts and things. So that's what I was going to talk about, was just kind of dating and see for people who are single what it's like for you guys, if I'm missing anything, if anybody has any tips. Just to kind of break it down a little bit, there's so many videos, so many podcasts, so many conversations people are having about dating, what men want, what women want, what's successful, what's not. Stop doing this. Don't do that. Do this, do that. There's so much of that going on that that was the topic because I just feel like, oh my goodness, a little bit. As far as dating and where you're meeting people, what's really the thing, people talking about you're attracting these type of people, or you don't have to do this, you don't have to do that. Let's chat. We will definitely get to it. I think it's a great thing to definitely chat about. Not on this week though, but we'll have to pick it for one of the next weeks before the end of the year and chat about it. Because sometimes I swear I feel like I need somebody else to take my phone and respond to people. As far as, because like maybe I just don't have the responses or something. Maybe I'm just too direct, too real, too honest. Maybe I'm just not as patient. I don't know. But this dating thing is hilarious. I be having the girl at work on the floor about just scenarios and situations like they cannot be serious. However, I do think I've learned a lot about myself through dating this year, probably the last 2 years, but this year for sure has been quite an interesting journey of dating and meeting people and talking and conversating and really, I've had some people ask me some really good questions. I've had some guys ask me some really good questions in trying to get to know me that I'm like, oh shit, okay, well, hold on. Hold on a minute now. Let me get my answer. Which has definitely changed my thought process of dating a little bit. Definitely like, oh, I'll take that question with me. I'd like to know that about somebody. I think I've definitely had a lot of scenarios where questions were the getting to know you thing. I don't think people know how to get to know people outside of people not knowing how to date. I don't think people really know how to get to know people. So that's been interesting. I realized that this year. I'm definitely a person who likes to get to know someone. I'm a question person. I'm a probing question person. I'm watching. I'm observing. I'm listening. I'm all of those things. Um, but I notice a lot of men do not know how to really get to know a woman. Um, a lot of it is very surface, and then obviously I think for women too, then the excitement fades, and it's really because you didn't actually get to know the person. So those are just some of the things that I was thinking about and was going to talk about as far as relationships and dating, but we can definitely wait on that one so we can really get into it, because I have some get into it. Okay, some stories, some scenarios, like whew. Um, and I know they say like if dating is stressful or hard for you, then um, you're attracting the wrong type of people or something. But sometimes I really think it really is the lesson in it still. And some of it I have realized for me is it's the same pattern that I recognize, but I keep doing it. Even though I can call it, I can see it. I know for a fact that this is written in the man's playbook. Like it has to be, because these men do it so often that like they have to be being raised like, okay, when you get to this part with a woman, you do this, this, and this. Like I can tell you they're about to do it before they do it. And yet and still, I will still respond the same way, or I will still participate in some fashion, shape, whatever. I'll still be bothered by it. I will still want to help fix it. I will still show compassion and patience, whatever it is. So I have learned, for me, paying attention to myself is that I do that. And so I think a lot of it for me is the lesson, like, okay, here it is again. You're going to do the same thing, or you're going to do something different. And I think for me, I keep doing the same thing. And so I'm no different than anybody else. Like, I'm not perfect. I don't pretend to have life figured out. I will fuck up some shit, okay? Like, oh, Sierra, you do better. So I'm noticing that a lot of my dating for me is pattern, and it is getting out of the comfort zone, the comfortability. It's getting out of whatever the case may be in dating. And that's kind of why feel like I keep going through the same cycle, is that I need to adjust it a bit. But I think you can't properly date or really move forward if you're not able to be honest with yourself. A lot of people would love to say that it's every man's fault, it's every woman's fault, every man, every woman I date is just like this, and I just can't figure it out. Well, at a certain point, you have to ask yourself, okay, what part am I playing in all of this? And not to say that you're doing anything so much wrong and that you're terrible or anything. It's just really, what am I doing? What are my actions in this that I continue to feel this way, or this continues to go this way? What could I do differently? What can I, how can I move differently to get a different result? Period. So, but we can definitely get into the relationships and dating for sure. I would love to hear feedback of what your dating life is like right now. Are you online dating? Are you meeting people out? Are you going on dates? Oh my gosh, I want to hear like the best date that you've been on in the last couple of months, because let me tell you about dates. Anywho, yeah, it's quite interesting. It really truly is. It's just different. I think one thing for sure we can talk about is just respecting the dating process. I think a lot of people don't, and it comes down to the communication for me. And my motto is definitely that I try very hard not to do to others what I don't want done to me. Whether that's dating, if that's friendship, if that's dealing with family, if that's dealing with coworkers, when I'm in the grocery store, in the parking lot, I just don't treat people in a way that I would not want that done to me. That's my motto. That's how I live. Other people don't live like that. And so that becomes very difficult. And even with that, I really believe that karma is real in that. Like, I believe that if I walk around the world being mean and nasty to people and ghosting dudes and playing with them for their money and telling them I'm into them when I know I'm not, wasting their time, all of that, I feel like it's karma coming back. Like, I'm going to get got for that kind of behavior. So I don't like to do it. But I noticed that there's other people who don't really care. And then, you meet a man and he's like, oh, all the women are this and all the women are that. And I think to myself, and what part have you played in that, young man? Usually that's where I go. That's pretty much the end of that one. I guess we're getting into it. I know. No, we're not. I'm ending it. I'm ending it right now. Literally. All I did was get you guys hyped so we could talk about it. I am not going into, let me tell you, okay? I really was prepared for that one. I haven't even touched the tip of the iceberg yet, okay? No, we're not going to do relationships. But definitely, I guess we could do next Friday. And then if you have questions or you want to share your story or whatever, we can really get into it. Because I do think a lot of single women like myself, a lot of single men are dating and going into 2023. And when we say just going for it, like we're going for it. What does that look like in dating? Because we're not just gonna go for anything. Like, we're gonna get a plan together. So we could definitely do it next week. Definitely want to hear from my people in relationships, people who are married, to help some of us single people out. Like, we could all use the real help, to be honest. Everybody's got a story and experience that can help somebody else. And so would definitely love to do that, and just kind of get into dating and relationships, and maybe hopefully putting something together that will help us navigate that better in 2023 to really maybe bring about some more beneficial experiences, even if it's not give them that look. Oh, what did you sir, now sir. I will give that look. I'm really that person. I probably could work on that. Oh, thank you, Tay Tay. Yeah, there's just so many things to navigate. Like, we're trying to work on business ideas, and you're trying to take care of your family, and you're trying to date, or you're in a relationship, or you're married, and then you have, trying to take care of your parents or grandkids. Like, we're all trying to navigate so many different waters and fields all the time, and we're all doing the best we can. So to all of you, you're doing a great job. You're doing great. Keep your head up. That's been my whole theme for today, was Tupac's Keep Your Head Up. You're doing good. Like, we really truly are. And sometimes we don't give ourselves enough credit. We want it to be different. We want it to look like this or that. But, there's no real playbook. There's no real book written on this is how you get this or do that in life. Even if you read all of these books, self-help books, and you attend all of these courses, and you talk to the best therapist, and you got a life coach on deck, and even through all of that, life is still going to throw us lemons, and we're still going to end up in pickles. And we're still going to get cheese on our cheeseburger, on our burgers, even when we don't want cheese and we ask for no cheese. It's still going to happen. Like, right? Stuff is still going to happen. Things are always going to be. And so we're really finding a place to navigate it all and still enjoy life. Still be able to enjoy the moments, the experiences, to really take the lessons. And some of the lessons are for us, most of them are, but they're also for us to share for somebody else. And so dating is no different. People who are married now had to go through a dating phase, I think, some of them. And some people just was like, hey, you my person, you mine, we're gonna do this. And then they just did it. And we can talk to them too to see how that's going for them. I mean, there's no real book. You know, they say, they said, they say, they created. I don't know who they are, but if they are the same people who are running this country, baby, let me tell you about how they not about to tell me how to do nothing else when it comes to me and my personal life, okay? Because they have really done some shit. And I don't hear no accountability, no apologies, no compassion, no patience, no refocusing, no regrouping. So we're just mixing a lot of stuff tonight. I don't know. Kind of tea I got in this cup today. But well, that's all I had because I actually hadn't prepared for the conversation that we had tonight. I had something totally different. So I appreciate everybody joining in for Friday Night Chats with C. This was a great night. I appreciate you guys joining, participating, commenting, supporting as usual. Would love to hear from you guys more. In advance, if you want to send me ideas, suggestions while I'm still working on figuring out how to get the live piece where I can get people on. It worked that one day, but I'm thinking if I do it on my cell phone, it may work better. So I've been trying that. I do try to go live when everybody is asleep, when nobody's going to be on. So I'm still working on that. Definitely looking forward to doing that and going forward in 2023. And we just figure out the kinks and figure it out until it comes together. But I appreciate you guys continuing to support, commenting, telling people, sharing. This is so exciting every Friday. And I'm just grateful and appreciative. I hope that you had a great week, and I hope that you have a great weekend and you do something fun. You do something for you this weekend. I know a lot of people have kids, they're married, they're working, they're doing all of these things, but I really hope you take this weekend to do one thing, something that's fun or positive, beneficial, valuable for you as a person, for you solely, that even if nobody else gets it, even if nobody else appreciates it, even if nobody else thinks it's fun, that you just do it for you, even if it's not for a whole day or 6 hours, but that you really take some time to do something that makes you feel good, that really puts a smile on your face. That's just you. Okay. So thank you guys so much. Have a great rest of your Friday night, and I will catch you next Friday, and we will get into these relationships and dating and all of that. We're going to do it next Friday. We are going to do it. That's the topic in advance. I'm telling you now. So be prepared. Okay, wait. I saw that on somebody's Disney list. They have posted like all of their top favorite Disney songs from Disney movies, and somebody posted Be Prepared from Lion King, which touched my whole heart because that is one of my all-time favorite movies. I sing it and say it all the time and stuff in regular life, and so that's where that just came from. Sorry. But okay, so be prepared. Next Friday, we are going to talk about relationships and dating, sharing our experiences, the things that are working, the things that are not, and what we want to do different or build upon that has worked for 2023. Okay? Because we are getting ready for 2023. We're going to wind down this year and make sure that next year we're ready to go for it. Okay, have a good night. Catch you guys later. Thank you. Oh, I think I have to wait a few seconds because you guys always say goodnight after I hang up. Oh, Morgan called me about Housewives of Potomac, girl. Girl. Love you too, Boo. Have a good weekend.